Imagine this, it is early morning in the year 1944. The beaches of northern France are quiet. German soldiers sip cold coffee, scan the empty horizon, and wait for the attack they believe will come. They are not relaxed. They know the Allies are planning a massive landing somewhere along the coast. Every officer, every soldier, every guard tower is on high alert. But what they do not know is this: the Allied attack is already coming. It is coming right now, and it is coming from a direction the Germans are not even looking at. Because an entire army, a full invasion force that Germany believes is real, does not exist at all. This is the story of the army that never existed. The fake army that fooled German intelligence. The deception that pushed Hitler into a trap so deep that it changed the direction of the entire war. This is the day a phantom force broke the mind of Adolf Hitler. In 1943, the Allies knew they had to invade Western Europe. They needed a major foothold on the continent, a place to push German forces back all the way to Berlin. Everyone knew the most logical target was Normandy or Calais. Normandy had wide beaches and open terrain. Calais was the shortest route across the English Channel, but there was a problem. If the Germans correctly guessed the location, the Allies would be slaughtered on the beaches before they could unload tanks or artillery. The solution was simple and insane at the same time. Make Hitler believe the invasion was coming somewhere else, not with rumors, not with one fake message, but with an entire army created from thin air. The Allies created what they called the First United States Army Group. On paper it looked powerful, hundreds of thousands of troops, thousands of tanks, an entire command structure. In reality, this force was made from rubber, wooden frames, empty tents and actors. The tanks were inflatable, the trucks were painted shapes on canvas. The aircraft were wooden shells, and the soldiers, most of them, did not exist at all. The Allies set up the fake army across the narrowest part of the Channel, right opposite the port of Calais. It was the perfect position to fool German intelligence. But props alone were not enough. The Germans were not stupid. Hitler trusted his spy network. He trusted radio intercepts. He trusted aerial reconnaissance. So the Allies decided to attack the German mind on every level. The Allies needed the Germans to believe the fake army had a real commander, someone aggressive, someone bold, someone Hitler feared. So they chose a man who had a reputation almost as big as the war itself, General George Patton. The Germans believed Patton was the most dangerous man in the Allied military. They followed every rumor about him. They studied his movements. They assumed he would lead the main invasion. So Patton became the face of the fake army. He inspected inflatable tanks as if they were real. He reviewed empty troops. He visited fake airfields. Every move was photographed from above because the Allies wanted the German aircraft to see everything. It worked. German observers reported that Patton was clearly preparing a massive strike toward Calais. The trap was forming. The name of this deception was Operation Fortitude. And it did not rely on props alone. It used radio traffic, massive streams of fake orders, movement schedules, supply requests for food, ammunition, fuel, and medical gear, all of it fake. But the Germans were listening, and they heard exactly what they expected, an army preparing for the largest landing in human history. The Allies also used double agents. These spies had worked their way into German intelligence. They were trusted, their reports were believed. And these agents delivered the exact story the Allies wanted. They confirmed the existence of the First United States Army Group. They confirmed Patton was in command. They confirmed the invasion would hit Calais. Hitler believed every part of it. On June 6, 1944, the real Allied invasion force began landing in Normandy. At first, German commanders hesitated. They believed the Normandy landings were a distraction, a feint, a small attack to confuse them. They believed the real army was still waiting across from Calais under George Patton, so German divisions remained frozen. Elite tank units, armored forces that could have thrown the Allies back into the sea. Units that Hitler refused to move. Every minute of delay gave the Allies precious time. By the time German commanders realized Normandy was the real invasion, it was too late. The beachheads were secured. Supplies were flowing. The momentum was unstoppable. Hitler believed the main attack had not yet begun. He believed Patton was still going to strike at Calais. He believed the Normandy invasion was only part one of a bigger plan. This belief held German forces in place for weeks. They refused to commit their reserves. The fake army, the inflatable tanks, The empty tents, the wooden planes, the actors, the radio messages, the double agents, the mind games, all of it continued to work long after the first Allied soldiers stepped onto French soil. Hitler was trapped inside a lie he believed was real. By the time German intelligence realized the first United States Army group was an illusion, the Allies had already pushed deep into France. German commanders reported that the army at Calais never moved, it never attacked, it never grew louder, it never deployed. There was nothing there. But Hitler refused to accept this at first. When he finally did, the damage was beyond repair. The German defense of France collapsed. The Allies rushed across the continent. German morale shattered. A fake army built from rubber and wood had helped break the Third Reich. The deception that changed the war, Operation Fortitude, is considered one of the most brilliant deceptions in military history. It did not rely on technology. It did not rely on firepower. It relied on something far more powerful, understanding the mind of the enemy. Hitler expected Patton to lead the invasion, so the Allies showed him what he wanted to see. He expected a massive army at Calais, so the Allies built one out of nothing. The result was hundreds of thousands of German troops locked in the wrong place, tanks that never moved, commanders who waited for an attack that never came. A fake army changed the direction of the entire war. This operation proves something remarkable. Sometimes the most powerful weapon is not a bomb or a gun or a tank. Sometimes the most powerful weapon is a story that the enemy believes so deeply that he never even questions it. But history was being shaped by their hands. Fortitude North remains one of the least known operations of the war. No gunfights, no hero charges, no explosions, just silence, patience, calculation, and the ability to make the enemy afraid of shadows. A ghost army that never existed, but changed everything. This was Fortitude North, a deception built from rumors and whispers, a ghost army built from nothing, a lie so powerful it froze nearly 500,000 soldiers. Sometimes the greatest victories are won not with force, but with imagination. The Allies won the battle for the beaches of Normandy, but the first victory did not happen on the sand. It happened in the mind of Adolf Hitler, and it was won by an army that never existed.